Braka, braka. I'm back on. I got a surprise for y'all. If maybe, if everything goes right. I don't know. I don't know how long my bro sent me that. But the title is Soul Kings because we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. Solar flares. I totally forgot about that. Talking about all this other stuff, but in real life reality, that's it. How we sound, Angel? We all over here looking like statues and stuff because we want to make sure y'all can hear us. You know, like that's the hardest thing with a low signal. So we're gonna try this again. Starting off with the don't.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing? Where we left off from?
We was talking about soul harvesting, uploading, and we got a special surprise if everything go right on their end. I'm not gonna announce them, but they'll announce themselves when they get here.
Oh yeah, soul harvesting. That's a big game right now because it's a process they take. The from what I heard and studied about it and listened to people talk about it, like people that actually done been murdered for talking about this. It's always the same process. It's just and it's also a process with it. Reality, like what people we just gonna what I'm saying? Yes, they do grow the body. Yes, they do put the synthetic organs, but it's still a spiritual thing because what they want to do is for people that's important to the world, like what you would call predominant, the Rothschilds, and they just transfer their consciousness. They use the most technology and the most, you know what I'm saying, necromancy to transfer their consciousness to the next body that's a replica of the old body so they keep life. You know what I'm saying? Even if not for long, they know how to take the conscience out the brain and transfer it. But for people like you say, Gucci Mane and Kodak Black, those type of people, they just straight up putting a whole nother soul or entity or consciousness in their body that's a replica of the old. They either discard them or lock them up. You know what I'm saying? But for people like the rappers and people that they really just want to use for certain messages and get certain negative points across, you know what I'm saying? They're just real. Like we got into a video one time about real, you know what I'm saying, and how the short species of dwarven extraterrestrials with no nose come from the Bible text like BC was reading is all come together, you know what I'm saying? The short dwarves with no nose, they the same ones that had the horns on their head that'll shoot their drill, which is everything that they are, their consciousness, their thought, their existence, but they don't have a soul, so they live inside of this
Horn.
this horn. You know what I'm saying? So if they shoot it into you and it swerve around your frontal lobe and all up through your cerebral vortex and then get caught in the central nerve operating system of your brain, that kills you and it rebirths them. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome the surprise unto everybody where the soul kings come together. That's why I couldn't put a title. I don't know where this is gonna go. Iron Bush the Chief. Welcome, brother.
Greetings, brother BC, to all the beloved across the world. Hope everyone's doing well.
Sorry. You got the flow, brother. We gonna come off of you. You got the flow because I know your time is short.
Yeah, I was actually just getting ready to get into a little study, and as I was entering, I just opened my laptop and thing. I took about maybe 15, 20 seconds to listen to the young man, the young brother that was speaking. And can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I heard him speaking about the DNA. I heard him speaking about the DNA and how the evil ones, the controllers, have pretty much, and even those that are in who we would call lukewarm, who are ignorant of the fact of the Christ, of what is fiction, what is fact, don't have any recognizance of, I don't even want to say history, I want to say the records of our plane of existence. These people, for whatever reason, are cracking these codes, but these are the ones that we're hearing about are what you would say, for lack of a better word, layman's. And I don't say that in a detrimental way, but they say, like, put things in layman's terms. That's not derogatory. That's just saying, putting it in a way that the common man can understand or understand. And we got to realize there's nothing new in this plane, in any of these dimensions. A lot of people say under the sun. We can say that. We could use that, but there are times where the sun is not even in the sky. So I don't use that phrase anymore either, because uh, once we come to the event that we're inching towards, which many call the seventh seal, um, there's not going to be a sun in the sky after that for all those that make it through physically. Now, and it tells you in the book of Revelation, regardless if you where you think that comes from. Am I coming through okay, guys?
Yes, sir. Loud and plain. Go ahead, brother. You
All
teaching.
right, I'm just, gotta make sure, because there's some, we've had times where I was speaking and speaking, and come to find out I was talking to nobody. So I just want to check every now and then. Um, the event that we're coming to, that if you follow the Bible, you know it as the seventh seal, but the seventh seal is more than just one seal. See, all the other ones are just one seal that's opened by the Christ. Primarily, we could break them all down, but we know that the seventh seal has seven trumpets, seven bowls, and then we even have the seven thunders. That if you're really in tune with the Great Spirit, that will be revealed to you. That it may not be meant for you to know. That does not mean you lack any part of the Great Spirit. Uh, as you should know by now, the Great Spirit gives gifts as it sees fit. Meaning, we all don't go. If you looked out your window and you saw every single tree was the exact same, every single color, every single flower was the exact same color. Every bug, there was only one bug. There was only one animal. There was only one type of person. That's why in some of my teachings, I listen to a lot of these new age teachers here and there, that speak of the nine ether beings and things. And I'm not saying it exists or it doesn't, because it's all science. And my thing is, when we get caught up on these, whether it's science facts or science fiction, when we get hung up on them and we get stuck on them, guess what that is? If your car or your vehicle is stuck at the light, you are now idle. Your car is idle. So it doesn't matter if you are learning something new and you learn about nine ether and you're embracing this and it makes you feel good, because let's just be real. Every single person out, well, I don't say every single person, because we got a group of people that's been controlling this realm. This was their go round, and this was their time to control it. As they say, Satan will be loose for a small season. Well, I want to tell you, this is not just a one-time deal. That this is the garden of souls. This is not just a one time this happens and that's it. This is and forever will be the garden of the origin of your soul. Now, is it going to happen the exact same way every single time? I highly doubt that, because then we're entering the realm of simulation. And that's, we got people that's teaching that right now too. To a degree, could we say we're in a simulation? Of course, because that's sacred geometry, that's that's nature. But when we're talking about, when we get into these teachers talking about we're in like a computer simulation, um you would have to subtract, you would basically have to say that you're almost soulless. So the people that are teaching these things, and I've noticed something, and some of you may not have even heard this doctrine, and I'm not the type to blast anybody, put them on Front Street. But there's some pretty big name people out here that is teaching this doctrine right now about that we're in an artificial matrix and this and that. And I've noticed something from all of these top teachers, and it was revealed to me by the Great Spirit, because I don't, like I said, I don't have the space to sit and study someone else when the Great Spirit is busy revealing to me. I go straight to source. I don't have to sit and listen to anyone else for hours and hours, and try to wait on something from them. But we do have teachers here that there's nothing wrong with you going to someone that's been put in your path, and you go listen to them teach for hours and hours, because if it's resonating with your soul, and beyond a doubt, 100%, not 99%, 100%, this person is connected. Listen, there's an old saying, everybody, there's a whole bunch of chiefs, and they say not enough Indians. Well, I don't use the word Indian. Indians are from the country India, but there's a whole lot of chiefs and not enough, workers, not enough, people putting in work. So we got to realize that even in this time, not everybody is called to be a prophet. All right, where's the healers? Where's the women that are out here that are called not to be doing what everybody else is doing? We all have gifts that are not, one is better than the other. Let's say if you got the fastest hands in the world, right? Boxing. Just remember Tyson in the late 80s. Just picture him with 1 foot. What would Tyson have been in the 80s, the late 80s, the most feared man on earth? Some you could argue best boxer, at least top 3 best boxers of all time. What would he have been with 1 foot? Even just take 1 toe. If you know about boxing, you know about swiveling. When you swivel, when you snap that hip, it don't matter a jab. You take that big toe, amputate that big toe, and see if Mike Tyson would have been the same boxer that he would have been. It's the same thing as the body of Christ. And I think a lot of people don't have a full understanding of what that is. But anyway, going back to what originally brought me on here, heard the young brother say about the DNA. Listen, these people crack this every time. This is nothing new. They crack this every time, but this is what they do. They lie to the populace. See, in Egypt, and people called Chem, but the real name was Tamara. And it's awful funny. It's always Mara, because Mara means beloved in every language. The etymology goes back to beloved, and it also goes back to the Virgin Mother, the Great Mother. So all the ancient civilizations, even before Atlantis, you want to talk about Atlantis? Lumeria is before Atlantis. Atlantis was actually the hijacking. Atlantis was one of the very first hijackings. Lemuria, we was living as one, the divine masculine. See, people want to say, "Oh, it was nothing but women on Earth." No, that's not true. It was nothing but the divine masculine and divine feminine together in harmony as one being living on the Earth plane at that time. See, and when you have that balance, you're able to pass through the voids that separate each dimension. If you don't know, and I'm not just talking out my butt, this is not just something like I read some books. This has been revealed to me, and Brother BC, I'm sure can tell you. This is coming directly from the Great Spirit. We have 12 dimensions here, and there's a void between each one. Now, these beings that we call the Elohim, the Anunnaki, right? The ones that is worshipped as gods,
You
and
was
have
going
been
in and
worshipped.
out. Bro.
Okay, okay. Let me see if I come back on. Am I back?
Yes, we hear you clear
Uh,
now.
okay. Yeah, good look on that. Let me know anytime I go out. That way I can, backtrack a few seconds. But so the we have 12 dimensions here, right? And there's a void in between each dimension. But in each dimension, we also have something called overtones. 12 of them, all right? It's basically the level of consciousness. It's the micro macro, all right? And this is also, without being too long-winded, this is also a reason why people are starting to think we're in some kind of simulation. So if you take the 12 dimensions, that's the master mansions or dimensions. As Christ said, in my Father's house are many mansions. Well, 12 don't sound like many mansions. That sounds like in my Father's house is we got some pretty big mansions, or we got more than 10 mansions or something. But he said many. So each dimension has something called 12 overtones. Now, if you take the 12 times 12, that's 144. That means we have literally 144 dimensions right here on the Earth's plane. What is it? It's light. What is light? It's waves. So it meaning when I say it's here, it's right in your room right now. You have the whole universe right inside of you right now. The whole universe is literally inside one of your cells. If you take the most powerful telescope,
You went out again, bro. Can you hear me? We can't hear you. Nope, we
we'll
still
see if
don't hear
that
you.
works.
Okay, there
All
you
right.
go. You right back in. All right.
Okay.
Hey, just to tell you, I know you ain't
Yeah.
been listening. Not that you don't care, but you know how we do it. Man, you stepping all in the sauce, bro. But putting the icing on the cake. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Okay. Yeah, I got my daughter here with me, so I'm just trying to get it all out as you guys as you're allowing me to speak, and I appreciate it. So basically the reason and the there's 144 dimensions right here in what you call Earth. And that's why in the ancient days it was known as Tiamat. When they say it got split in half, what they're talking about is, I mean, it's many things, it's many layers to the onion, but the main thing that they're talking about is half of the crater. I call it a crater, but it's like a bowl that we're in. Okay, half of it got split in half, but not how you think. It's frozen. Half of it is frozen, and it's the right brain of what and I'm sure BC calls it the mother as well. So they literally froze the right brain of the creator. If we go back, excuse me, not the creator, the crater, the mother, the great mother. Okay, so half of where we live at in this dome, and there's more than one dome. I heard a young man was talking about the dome when I came in too. Um, we have a dome that is made of water, and we also have another dome that is made of ice. And when the seven trumpets, seven seals happen, the ice dome is going to break and it's going to fall to the ground as 80-pound hailstones. It's right in your book of Revelation. Once that breaks, then we will go back to the sun not being in the sky, the disk, the actual disk. You will not need a lamp. There will be no night. Okay, it says no need of a lamp, there'll be no night, there'll be no moon nor sun in the sky. The Christ shall shine. Okay, the Christ within all of us. All right. But the sky is gonna go back to like a sunset pinkish hue. I gotta say 24 hours just so you get it, but there's gonna be no such thing as hours because hours is Horus. The whole story of Horus and Osiris and Set and Ra was when the sun was at noon, at high noon. That was their most high. Ra was the most high, along with that goes into a whole nother story with the Anunnaki. But this is the metaphorical story. Ra was the most high at noon when the sun was at the strongest point, the hottest, the heat, the strongest. That was Ra. Okay. Then when it started going towards set or setting, that was Osiris, right? Osiris was heading to battle Set, and then it will go into the underworld when the sun or Ra or Osiris was no longer seen, and he will battle Set, and then in the morning his son Horus or the horizon defeated Set, and the sun would rise again with Horus or the horizon. See, but that right there is an ancient form of what we call today Satan or Saturn. It's all about timekeeping. See, when this event comes, there's no more way to measure time. There's no more way to watch the sun come up and say another day and this and that, the moon, all this. There won't be no seasons. There's gonna be the same temperature. All the ice is gonna melt. The mother's gonna be in harmony again. Her right brain or feminine brain is not gonna be ice. Okay, and that was done. If you want to know how that was done, it was done through the Ben stone. Okay, which was also a piece. They've split it in pieces. There's a little piece of it in the Kaaba in Mecca that's actually in the vagina shaped part that they all rub. That big cube is just for all craps and giggles. The piece of the Ben stone is actually in a black vagina shape that they all rub when they will by there. Okay. Um and that's why we also have to be very careful, beloved, when we speaking about this city when they say New Jerusalem, because Jeru is Haru. So Haru is Horus's Tamaric name. So we have to be really careful when they're talking about there's a cube coming down out of heaven, and it's 12, 12, 12, 12. The 24 elders are 24 hours. So and they can't get nothing to do nothing. They cannot get you to do anything against your will. So it sounds like to me it's one last hurrah to get people, souls that have made it through to the Christ, the millennial reign of Christ, to trap, to trap, uh, to just get one last free will decision for you to get trapped into this cube, this battery, this Merkaba vessel, really, because that's what it is. Because and I'm glad I got to this before I depart from this message. This is what happened to the Elohim. Say it
Run
again.
that about 3 seconds run that back about the soul entrapment because it started acting funny again.
Okay, so the story, and you gotta realize, please realize, just because I'm saying this does not mean that I'm coming against your entire faith. You have to realize these people been playing in all the books. Okay? So when they talk about New Haru Salem coming out of heaven, adorned like a bride, well, guess what? The bride is already the mother. So they're sending another bride, the queen of heaven, which is known as Isis or Inanna or Ishtar. They're sending another bride down as a cube too. We already in the mother. So you got a nut, you got a bride. I know we can finagle this many different ways. Say, oh nah, brother, but it's for the body of Christ. So you had a mother marrying the son. Even if you place it like that, that goes back to a cult. It's all a cult. It's all mystery school. It's always about the mother marrying her own son.
You said that they play with the book, right?
Yes, sir.
Means which the real ancestor said that the Most High said we wasn't made to profess our faith by books, correct?
That's right.
So I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to agree with you, Aaron. And I wanted you to. Did you see what Miss Sherry? Because she put it like 3 times, so it must be important. I know you see stuff, but for her, she said she want to get if it's okay, if she could have a private call chat with you. But continue saying.
Sister Cherry, I will respond to you when I get a chance. I'll respond to you on this message when I go back over top when Brother BC finishes the stream up. But thank you, BC, for bringing that to my attention. But so let me see. Let me regain my thought. So basically, what's happening is. And to take it a step further from what you just said, Brother BC, we're not even supposed to speak. You want to take it a step further from writing? We're not even supposed to speak words because the word is so powerful. This dimension is practiced for those that are already we know the ones that are going to reach Christ consciousness and are on their way, and some of us have already experienced it. Some of us have already been there. Some of us already know what it is. Some of us are actually walking in Christ consciousness at this very moment. Okay. Now, Christ consciousness, am I saying, is that what the whole thing is about? Again, it's one layer to the onion, but it's a very, very crucial. Why do you think Christ said himself, you shall do greater things than I? This is nothing. Okay? There's going to be more of you that and where 2 or more are gathered. Where 2 or more Christ are gathered? How about where 144,000 Christ are gathered? What will happen then? That's the line of thinking we need to be on right now. Okay? And you need to realize the enemy knows, especially everyone on here that has a very heavy anointing. He knows the enemy knows not a he, it knows it's not going to get to you with the everyday version of the okey doke. Okay, these little low-level demons that's out here with the alcohol and the weed and the drugs and this and that. Listen, that's low-level stuff. When you're on this level that we're speaking right now, the only way that the enemy can get to you is through those that you love. Period. The only way the enemy can get to you is through those that you love, because it wants to create conflict no matter by what, any cost. And if we go back into the stories, it don't matter what you believe about these books or not. You use them as a guide. You get something out of it. As Christ said, you looking in the book for eternal life. But in every story, any good thing that you're getting out of there is you're witnessing me. What does me mean? He ain't talking about Jesus. He ain't talking about Yeshua. He ain't talking about Yahushua, Yahushai, Emmanuel. He's talking about the Christ. You're witnessing the Christ. The Christ dwelleth within you. The Holy Spirit or the Great Spirit travels. Okay? The Christ is in you. That means you have the decision, the free will to become the Christ. It's the Christ is in you the whole time. Are you going to rise? Are you going to resurrect? Are you going to go to the pits, the depths of hell? Is that chemical of milk and honey going to leave your pituitary and pineal gland, go down your 33 vertebrae to the depths of hell? And I hate to get into this, and some of y'all probably like, man, there might even be one or two you say this is some kind of witchcraft. Listen, I've been doing this for decades. And at one point I said it myself, this is not what it's all about, but it's mature. You have to be at a certain level of maturity. So there's 3.5 days a month when the moon is in when you were incarnated, comes into your sun symbol. I'm not talking about astrology. I'm talking about astronomy. Two different things. Astrology is fortune telling and divination. Astronomy is watching factual lights and frequencies that exist in the firmament. It said every light is in the firmament, all right, including your sun and your moon. Because they're all reflections, beloved. Every single light you see down there is a reflection. Okay, so but that's gonna take me off track if I get too far on that. But basically, it's your choice. Are you going to do what it takes to become the Christ here? Okay, and it looks different for all of us. Why do you think this whole book that people worship? I call them Biblicans. I don't use the word Christian no more because the true followers of Christ, to me nowadays, Christian is almost like an insult. So I use the word Biblicans because they worship the dead letter, as Paul said. The dead letter killeth, only the spirit giveth life. So where does the spirit come from? Well, your spirit emanates from your soul. Where does your soul sit? In your heart. Although I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. What's the shadow of death? You're in the shadow of death 24 hours a day. The whole time you're here, you're from the time you're a baby and you come out, you're in the shadow of death. But guess what? It don't matter how poor you are. It don't matter if your mom's on drugs. It don't matter if you're in the projects or if you're in a mansion. Every time you lay down, you have the ability to lie down in green pastures. Why? Because your heart is where your soul lies and is where your heart emanates. There's a reason your heart is the fourth seal. Why do you think right after the fourth seal is when the angels say, wait, we got to seal them in the forehead, y'all? Because after the fourth seal is if you have your heart balanced, if you get through them 4 horsemen that's riding, that's nothing. Because 4 horsemen, that means they got an animal and a person. And then one of them got 2 people. One of them got Hades following, scooping up people. You know what I'm saying? So it's really 6 people, six things, 6 malevolent things that you battling just to open your first 4 seals. And guess who opens the seals? John cried when he saw. He cried with a cry that was so deep and heavy when he saw that no being on the earth plane, no being in the heavenly realms could open the seals. Why? Why did no being? Why did he cry? Why can no being in the heavenly realms and no being on earth open the seals? Because it gotta be the Christ that's in you. That's the only being that's the only one that can open them seals. The angel can't do it for you. The preacher man can't do it for you. Chief Iron Bush can't do it for you. Brother BC can't do it for you. Nobody, the mother can't do it for you. The father can't do it for you. You have the free will, and only the Christos Christ within you has the ability to open that seal. And when that fourth seal get open, your heart, which is in the middle, which is the balancer, then you get sealed in your forehead. But guess what? Why did we go? Why did we skip one? We skip the mouth. We skip the chakra or the seal in the throat, and we got straight to the seal. We got sealed by at the sixth seal in our foreheads. Because guess what? When it come time for war, why didn't he say he coming with this, he coming with that? Because he's coming with a great sword in his mouth. Meaning once you're sealed in your forehead, no longer will any word that ever comes out of your mouth again be void. You won't speak. Just like Brother BC said, we're not even meant to read, write books. You will not even speak to anyone. They'll think you're dumb. They'll think you don't even have the ability to speak, because once you are sealed, after that fourth seal, on that fifth seal, when you are sealed on your forehead, you have now went and passed the level. Why are you still in the third dimension? To when you speak, instant manifestation happens. And that is going to happen to all of us leading into the after this is all said and done. So you got two choices. You can either allow the Christ inside of you, open up all the seals internally, and it can be the most beautiful thing you've ever went through. It's the most beautiful story ever told. It's the narrow path. It's the narrowest path there is of light going up your spinal column. And that's just physically. But we can talk metaphysically. We can talk about something that don't even got a word for. It can be the most beautiful experience. Is it going to take sacrifice? Of course. Is it going to take the ultimate sacrifice? Yes. Is family going to wonder? Is family going to think you're crazy? Is the enemy going to be attacking your family the whole time? The whole time your family going to be saying, we need money. We need money. Money, money, money. It's going to be about money. And you need to go do this. And you need to go do that. And listen, that's part of picking up your cross, or your tree, or your noose, whatever your belief, it doesn't matter. Your thorn in your side, that's part of it. But it's the most beautiful journey, the most beautiful story ever told. But you have a choice to make, beloved brothers and sisters. You can either have them seals opened by the Christ inward, and when it says every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess, guess whose knee that is? That's the knee that is called Iron Bush. That's the knee that's called Brother Clark. That's the knee that's called Sister Cherry. That's the ego that is finally realized the Christ is the ruler of me, has opened my seals, and now my ego is now taking a knee and bowing. And now, why do you think the angel skipped the throat seal and went and sealed you in your head? Because now you're going to learn that you're going to bow your knee to the Christ, and the first word that comes out of that seal in your throat, that great sword, is going to confess that Christ is the one, that the Christ is the most authoritative power in this universe. In this universe, that's how every knee and every tongue ain't gonna confess like the alcohol up on the corner, like someone they gonna be smoking crack, and somebody gonna be surfboarding down in the clouds, and everybody gonna look, and everybody's gonna take a knee and bow and say, yep, Christ, that's Christ, he's the one. It's not how it's gonna work. It's gonna happen internally to you. Your ego, the person they've told you were on your birth certificate, social security number, you're finally going to realize that's not you. You're going to realize that I am you and you are me. that brother BC been Iron Bush and Iron Bush been brother BC the whole time. And you've been me and I've been you and we've all been each other the whole time. That's when you're going to take a knee. That's when you're going to confess. That's when every tongue shall confess. Now, on the flip side, okay, if you aren't in alignment and those of your family that aren't doing this and allowing this to happen, they are going to see the external seals get opened. Okay, they are going to witness everything literally that is in the scripture, the war, the 1 day's wage, a loaf of bread. They're going to witness all of that, death of half the world, fear of this, fear of that. They ain't going back. The merchant Babylon's going to fall in 1 hour. The sixth seal's gonna come. They're gonna use that as a psyop to make everyone think it's aliens here and Elon Musk and this and that. Everyone else is gonna be at the disposal to the external seals being open. But everyone that's here on this message right now, I declare and decree by the true power of the true Christ, excuse me, not power, authority and power of the true Christ that abides in you and abides in me, and you are I and I are you. I declare and decree right now that that's not your timeline. Okay, some of you may witness it. Some of our family may get caught up in it. Okay, but if you love them, you'll walk the walk right now. All right, and you'll stop talking so much because we're going somewhere. You're an eternal being, and this is practice. Why do you think there's a delay? If you want to get into a deeper conversation, what I don't have time for right now, the moon is the delay. That's the reflection of delay of the manifestation of the word. All right, that's why it has 14 different phases. Okay. That's your ego reflects, it echoes off the firmament and comes back to you. Is it gonna come back to you void? Are you just speaking jibber jabber? What are you speaking? Are you speaking the desires of your heart? Okay. The reason everybody's starting to notice, hey man, things are starting to happen quicker now. I'm manifesting things like that because time is drawing shorter. Time's getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And I'm going to be doing a teaching soon on showing you how it actually works with the spiral and everything in the all-seeing eye and where it's at. Okay, the sun is just a reflection the same way the moon is, but there's no sun in this realm moving around or moon moving around. It's all at the top of a dome that's closed, and it's going to open up during the seventh seal. Okay. um and they got the wizards and warlocks that know these things, but the minds had it right. December 21st is the marking of it. That's the winter solstice. They had it right. That's not the day the world gonna end, but that is the day you're gonna witness the 3.5 days of darkness or 3.5 days of light, depending on where you at in the world. And that's gonna mark that, hey, it's about to go down. They thought it was happening in 2017. The day after the winter solstice, Elon Musk and his company sent a rocket ship straight up trying to leave the firmament in 2017. The day after the winter solstice, 26, same year, the Russians sent a rocket up to the same place trying to leave the firmament. Pictures of both of them hitting waters looking stupid. Clowns. Got water and stuff just spraying everywhere. Okay, so what that tells me is even the elites don't got all of it. They don't have all of it. So stop thinking that these people are so diabolically smart or and all this and that they got it all figured out, because they ain't even got it all figured out. Okay, and they worship they worship the third eye, which is really the first eye. That's why it says in Genesis that the seed of the mother, all right, is going to bruise the head of the serpent. Why does it say head? Because that's the top. That's the top to them, the third eye. That's as high as they going to go. Because you know that halo, that's the next seal that I didn't speak on. That's the last seal. That's your own personal little portal into eternity, and only you can go through there. And getting back, and then I'm gonna end with this. Getting back to the cube situation, we got the black cube down here right now in Islam, right? We got the story of this clear, this gold clear cube coming down, adorned like a bride for the husband. Um, during the millennial reign of Christ. Well, like I said, you have free will, right, to do whatever to make that decision. But let me tell you what happened and why they're sending a Merkaba down. Because these Anunnaki, these Elohim, Anuna, fallen angels, whatever you want to call them, they're so far gone from the feminine side. And this goes back to the Book of Kings. It tell you when they was building the Temple of Solomon. The Temple of Solomon was made with you didn't hear no hammer, you ain't hear no nails, no tools, nothing. But yet the temple was made because Solomon meant soul of man. The temple is you. The soul of man is you're making the temple for the soul of man or woman. Okay, man is short for manifestation. So they're telling you even in the Book of Kings that that the temple was not a physical thing. Only the evil ones made it into a physical thing, which they made it into sex magic and orgies and this and that, and I've broken that down too. So what happened is these beings have gotten so far away from, just like on on the hill of Golgotha, which means place of the skull. The thief on the right, the thief on the left. The thief on the left is your left brain. It's logic. It's mathematics. It's statistics. Statistically speaking, this and that and logical. And like, this dude ain't the son of God. This dude ain't going nowhere. He on the cross just like me, man. This cat, man, come on, man. On the right, he said, man, look, take me with you where you going, because it was something that could not be explained that was inside of this man's mind of his heart, which is your soul, which is your heart. That fourth seal I was telling you about, something at the very end, the thief on the right came to the truth, came to the awareness of the truth. Christ said, you're going to join me in paradise, right? So these beings, the Anunnaki, the Elohim, have been so far gone from that force, that feminine energy. That's why every religion has made sure that they have made it so hard for you to find the mother, and have thrown dirt. And the woman, they've either taken the woman out completely or just sprinkled a little bit of pepper in there for you, and just put a little bit in there for you, just so you could say it was in there. But what has happened is they have lost the ability to create a Merkaba vessel. This might be a little bit deep for some of you. I'm gonna end with it. They've lost the ability to create a Merkaba vessel from their heart. And without the ability to do that, you cannot pass the void through the dimensions, meaning you cannot enter eternity, meaning you are stuck. Meaning these fallen ones, these Anunnakis, these Elohims that came down here and decided to become rulers of these planes, that thought it was all fun and games. Guess what? Time is short, my man. Their time for fun and games is up, and they can only create external Merkabas now. That means they can still create them, but not from their heart, not internal. They can't create them internally, so they have to create it externally, but they need a being with a soul to enter by free will to go into it, to give it power of manifestation. So that means when they send this Merkaba down like a vessel, adorned like a bride, adorned for their husband, if any souls enter, they're going to use these souls. That's going to be metaversed on a whole nother level. They're going to use the souls that are in this cube to manifest the same story as the demiurge from the Gnostics, Yalda Bayoff, all over again. They're going to use the soul power essence of any beings that enters that cube to start manifesting again. That's why it says Satan will be put on a chain for a while and going to be loosed again. And I'm going to go ahead and end with that, brother. I love all of y'all. I love everybody. I don't even know how many's on here. I had no plans on coming on here today at all. I flipped my computer open, getting ready to study. BC's on. I hear him talking about the DNA technology and storing. And to add to the young man thing, what he was saying real quick, this go around is called CRISPR technology. So when this comes, most of them are going to go hide underground, and they have the ability to remove the piece of DNA that shows age and ages. Okay, so they can literally, what they're going to do is they're going to go underground and wait it out. That's also part of Satan being chained for and then being re-loosed, because they're going underground. Because see, what happens is when there's no night, when there's you about to go, baby? Okay, I love you. Be careful. Wear your seatbelt. Okay, good job. Look, when there's no night, these beings can't exist on the surface, because that's like the sun shining directly on them all day long. They can't hide. See, we're children of the day. They children of the night. So they have to go underground when there is no sun in the sky, because the whole sky becomes the sun and every soul here becomes the Christ. So they have to go as deep as they can underground with their technology, their technique, which means idolatry. And then they come back up and they wait until we're back in our native state. What's our native state? Harmonic. Okay, they come back up. We harmonic. We in the Garden of Eden, the feminine, masculine, and it's perfect balance. We walking around perfection. The whole realm is perfection. Ain't no ice walls, ain't nothing frozen, ain't no toiling with the ground. Food is growing everywhere. You walking by picking the food, boy. We just, man, listen. We talking to the animals with our first eye. The lion eating the hay. The animals not even hunting each other. They eating so much fruit and vegetables. You see what I'm saying? You taking a nap laying on the lion. We in so much balance. It's the balance of the heart. And that is what we working back to right now. Now these beings going back underground with their little CRISPR technology, playing with the DNA. What does that remind you of, Brother BC? It's the same story from the Sumerian tablets, Enki and Enlil, and it's all the same story over again. They coming back up. They're gonna say, hey, I got a tree of tech knowledge over here of good and evil. I got it over here. But guess who the Most High was that told him? It wasn't a being walking around. It was the Christos inside of you that told you, don't go messing with these beings. Leave them alone, because they're not going to exist here without your energy. All you got to do is resist, and they shall flee from you, and they going straight back underground. And eventually they going to wish they could die. They will be seeking death, and death shall not find them. And that's their hell, and they're in it right now, brother, and they heading closer to it every day. And we heading closer to a time where there ain't no days, where there ain't no hours, there ain't no time. That's why their god is Saturn, because they control the realm with time. Once this event happens, there's no more sun disk in the sky. There's no more moon in the sky. You ain't gonna know how old you are. You ain't gonna know you've been here 1,000 years, 2,000. That's why I say a day is 1,000 years. 1,000 years, that's a day, because we don't know. I don't know how long you've been here, because you look just like you look now, and I look like we're gonna look better. We're gonna be in our prime. You hear me? Hey, man, I love you, brother BC. It's divine timing right here from the Great Spirit. I love each and every one of you. I'm out of here. Anybody that left comments for me, when I get a chance, I'll go back and I will respond to you one-on-one. Love, respect.
I sent you the video. Love and respect. You know, anytime, man, just send me that text like you did, bro. Thank you for
yes, sir. Balance and wholeness to all.
He ain't even been here and stepped in everything we talked about in the last 2 weeks, brothers and sisters. Even said the exact same words. Yo, go in her. What the heck is this outside stuff? See, brothers and sisters, and you know he ain't been here. So, you know, Iron Bush gonna get with you, Sister Sherry. So we're gonna cut it right there, but we're gonna be back on. We got a marathon of stuff for you, brothers and sisters. Well, you know, we can't do iron like that, man. He dropped some jewels.
He just gave y'all the most biblical, holy scripturized way of explaining why we finna go into the modern days of telling you why these aliens want your soul. He just told you straight holy scripture from the breath of God. He ain't have to read too many scriptures. He did that was the whole part. Now we finna give you what the scientists do. You know what I'm saying?
Schematics, you know me. Y'all know me. I'm just debating. Nah, we only gonna be on YouTube, so you better tell other Facebookers. They better get to the YouTube.
Testimony of dead men that have contributed to the truth. They are most of these videos that we gonna give y'all these testimonies after we speak. You know what I'm saying? And we get, you know what I'm saying, these videos are testimonies of people that have now been what you would call silenced. So yeah.
Ishe!
And
Shalom.
they speaking spiritual. Shalom. Y'all can't talk.
Baraka.
Shalom.